On the day I was supposed to marry Chloe, the man who had successfully conquered her and then left without a word appeared. He didn't say anything, just stood there quietly. Chloe lifted her wedding dress and rushed toward him. What kind of wedding crasher doesn't even say, "Come with me"? Watching their retreating figures, I almost burst out laughing. Perfect. I finally didn't have to marry that antisocial psychopath. Chloe was my childhood friend, and I was the one who accompanied her through her most painful 5 years. Back then, she had fallen in love with the conqueror, Ryan. But after Ryan succeeded in his conquest, he just left without looking back. She chased after him, calling his name over and over, begging him not to leave, her voice raw with tears, but he never turned around once. After he left, she couldn't eat or sleep, crying constantly. She, who never touched alcohol, started drinking until she had stomach bleeding. I took care of her without rest, helping her slowly recover for 5 whole years, until she finally agreed to marry me. But at the wedding, just as we were about to exchange rings, the vanished Ryan appeared again. He said nothing, did nothing, just stood there. Chloe went crazy, threw down the ring, and ran to him desperately, rushing into his arms, her hands holding him tightly as if afraid he would disappear again. Ryan curved his lips into a smile, giving me a triumphant look as if to say, "See, Ethan? A first love doesn't need to do anything. Just stand there quietly and can easily win over your 1,800 days and nights of dedication." The guests were in an uproar. Chloe's father was so angry, he threw his cane at Ryan. "You bastard." Chloe shielded him, her forehead split open and bleeding profusely. Ryan touched her face tenderly. "So stupid. What would happen if a grown man like me took a hit? Why are you blocking for me?" She held his hand brazenly, interlocking their fingers, mumbling in protest. "You're the stupid one. What kind of wedding crasher doesn't even say, 'Come with me'?" Her tears flowed as she looked at him pitifully. "Ryan, do you still want me?" He smiled gently, every word sincere. "Of course. I said you're my little princess. That will always be true." Chloe's father nearly fainted from anger, but no one could stop them as they walked forward hand in hand without looking back. Ryan turned back to look at me triumphantly, smiling contemptuously, his lips moving silently, telling me something. "I told you I could win against you this time too." Yes, he had come to find me last night. He examined the wedding ring on my hand, chuckling. "Ethan, this pair of wedding rings was specially designed by her for our wedding back then." I didn't refute him because he was right. The ring size was his, it was loose on me, and even the names engraved inside were theirs. When Chloe had sweetly asked me to change the wedding rings to this pair, I knew the person she wanted to marry was never me, but I still smiled gently and said yes. Ryan provocatively waved his watch at me. That black one matched Chloe's black one as a pair, not particularly expensive watches, but because he gave it to her, she never took it off, getting angry if I even touched it. Ryan looked at me contemptuously, like he did in high school. "So what if I hurt her deeply back then? So what if you accompanied her for 5 years? Do you believe me? I'll still win over you tomorrow, because I'm her first love, and first loves are always pure." Looking at their perfectly matched retreating figures now, I lowered my head dejectedly, thinking of every sad thing in my life to keep from laughing. "I believe you. Of course, I believe you can win over me. I even want you to win more than you do. Otherwise, I'd have to marry that psychopath Chloe." I knew long ago that this world was a novel. Chloe was the female lead, the conqueror was the male lead, and I was the vicious childhood friend blocking them. If it wasn't for following the plot, I definitely would have pulled Chloe's plug at the hospital immediately, because she's a complete antisocial personality. She knew long ago that she was the female lead, the master of this world. On the surface, she was sweet and lovely, the Thompson family's most outstanding daughter, but actually, everyone in her eyes was just a toy for her entertainment. In high school, I watched with my own eyes as a boy confessed to her, "Chloe, I like you." She looked up at him with a sweet smile. "Really? Then are you willing to give me your heart?" The boy blushed, nodding involuntarily. The next second, she pulled out a knife and stabbed it into his chest. Blood spurted out like a fountain, splashing onto her face. She casually wiped her face with the back of her hand, staring at me hiding in the corner, smiling like a ghost. "My dear childhood friend, what did you see?" I was scared pale as paper. I didn't see anything. But when she likes someone, that's when she's most terrifying, because that person becomes her favorite toy. So her hand quietly pressed against my trembling chest. Then she stood on tiptoe and whispered in my ear like a snake hissing. Don't worry. I like you so much. I couldn't bear to kill you just like that. She was indeed very good to me then, obedient and compliant. She was the high and mighty Thompson family princess, while I was just her family driver's son. People at school always bullied me. Boys on the sports field would hit me with balls from behind, watching me cover my head from the impact, bursting into laughter. Sorry, I thought a driver's son would have good directional sense and could dodge that. The same day after school, he would kneel before me. Chloe looked at his slender fingers, clicking her tongue in admiration. Such beautiful hands. Then she stepped on them, the sound of joints breaking under her foot mixing with the boy's painful groans. She smiled with enjoyment. Just as beautiful as I imagined. Every night she would sneak into my room, sit on my desk, grab my collar, and kiss me deeply. But everything changed the day the conqueror, Ryan, transferred to our school. He looked down at me condescendingly. So you're Chloe's childhood friend? I nodded, and he looked at me mockingly. Stop deceiving yourself. She likes you now because I haven't appeared yet, and I'm her destined male lead. I warned him kindly. Stay away from her. She's not someone you can mess with. He sneered. A woman like her, of course you can't handle her. I'm different from you. After he appeared, Chloe quickly tired of me and fell for him. So every day after school, I became the one kneeling on the ground. Ryan had someone stuff a toad in my mouth, then watched my terrified and pained expression while clapping and laughing happily. Toad, you should be with your own kind, still dreaming of the swan. Chloe stood beside him, considerately handing him water. Is it fun? It was a gentleness I'd never seen before. He enjoyed her love, looking at me smugly from the side as if showing off, but I turned away and couldn't help laughing. He didn't know yet. The more Chloe liked someone, the better she treats them, but the more cruelly she tortures them later. But back then, he disappeared after successfully conquering her, never seeing Chloe's true face. At that time, Chloe almost went crazy, not for any other reason, but because she had laid such heavy bait, yet didn't get the reward she had long desired, and marrying me was her chess move from the beginning, a move to force Ryan back. Ryan despised and hated me, this so-called childhood friend, the most. How could he tolerate me marrying Chloe and replacing him as this world's male lead? Not long after, Chloe brought Ryan back to the Thompson mansion. I wasn't surprised at all because I had overheard Ryan's conversation with the system before. Host, you already received a 5 million reward for completing the last conquest mission. Are you sure you want to accept another mission? Of course. As long as I take everything from Ethan, I can stay in this world, right? What's good about returning to the real world? Here, I'm the only male lead. But if you fail the mission, you'll be erased. He laughed. For such a simple mission, failing would be harder than succeeding. Ryan swaggered into the Thompson house. Chloe knelt before Mr. and Mrs. Thompson, saying she wanted to marry him. At first, the Thompsons firmly disagreed. Mr. Thompson banging his cane in opposition. Ethan's father saved my life with his own in that car accident, and this child has been by your side for 5 years. If you want to marry that man, don't even think about it. But gradually, his tone softened. The more I look at Ryan, the more I like him. From now on, just treat Ethan like a brother. What life-saving grace, what 5 years of companionship. None of it compares to the male lead halo. Even the subsidiary I spent 3 years building was taken away with just one word from Ryan. He sat in my chair, in my office, while I became his assistant. Mr. Thompson's tone was indifferent. Ryan is the Thompson family's future son-in-law. You're just a driver's son, know your place. Our family giving you food to eat is already treating you well. Ryan sat arrogantly in the office chair, legs crossed, ordering me to make him tea, then poured the scalding tea on me. Such low-quality tea leaves are only fit for someone of your class to drink. My skin instantly turned red, blistering up. I crouched down in pain. He casually grabbed a folder and threw it at my face. How dare an NPC like you compete with me? I dragged him to see Chloe's basement, blood splattered inside, filled with her torture instruments. I spoke earnestly, telling him Chloe was really a psychopath and I was the saintly supporting character who truly cared for him. He looked even more excited, grabbing my collar and cursing me. So what? She loves me, so she won't hurt me. She'll only kill everyone I hate for me, including you. Tonight, I'll have her teach you a good lesson, you bastard who always gets in our way. That night, Chloe indeed came to my room again. She stood by my bed, the knife in her hand gleaming brightly, as if figuring out how to butcher me. Ethan, Ryan asked me to come teach you a good lesson. My voice trembled a bit. Are you going to kill me? She leaned down and kissed me frantically, her voice hiding uncontainable excitement. How could I? I came to ask you, how do you want to kill him? Should I make him into a human stick for my beloved Ethan, just like Conqueror number 15? How about it? Conqueror number 49, even if everyone likes you. The male lead. Your Yandere female lead only loves me. This NPC. I shook my head. That's not good. She kissed me one scorching, wet kiss after another, her voice hoarse as if burned by fire. Why do you keep making me endure? I'm going crazy holding back. I really want to kill him. My thumb rubbed her soft lips, my voice spilling from between my teeth. I love you. Her eyes reddened, dark eyes surging with emotion. You made me cooperate with his conquest, leave with him at the wedding. I did it all. Why do you still want me to stay with him? I clearly belong to you alone. I laughed. Because I only like things that belong to others, women included. The room fell terrifyingly silent. She kissed my Adam's apple, whispering softly, whatever Ethan wants me to do, I'll do. The next day, Ryan ordered me to run errands and buy coffee again. He laughed loudly watching me limp. Aren't you Chloe's childhood friend? I just asked her to teach you a lesson. Didn't expect her to be so harsh. Doesn't she feel sorry for you? When I handed him the coffee, he suddenly stuck out his leg. I tripped and fell to my knees. He grabbed my head and slammed it against the ground. Kowtow to me a few times. Make me happy, and I'll have Chloe let you go. I was obedient as a dog, kowtowing until my head bled. His knuckles tapped on the table as he laughed happily. I watched Chloe's dark eyes at the door and laughed happily too. He walked in, lips moving silently, counting. Ryan turned back, laughing. What are you saying? He smiled gently. 25. He kowtowed to me 25 times. This smile of his was too familiar to me. Conqueror number 28 had smashed 3 bottles on my head. He also smiled gently like this and told him the number 3, and later, she stabbed him 3 times. A few days later, Ryan brought a group of people to my house aggressively. The servants behind him carried loads of dog food and dog toys. He looked around with disgust. Where's your mutt? Though I hate this lowly breed the most, since it's yours, I'm going to take it. His mission this time was to take away my Sonny, the stray dog my dad had rescued. It was his gift for my 20th birthday. But a month after my 20th birthday, my dad died in a car accident he had orchestrated. That accident, sabotaging the car. He deliberately died in Mr. Thompson's place because he had pancreatic cancer and wanted to use his life to secure a future for me. Lying on the hospital bed, unable to catch his breath, he still comforted me in a voice too low to hear. Don't cry, Sonny will stay by our Ethan's side in Dad's place. But now Sonny was going to be taken away too. Hearing the sound of food, it ran to Ryan, wagging its tail happily. It had never seen so much delicious food and fun toys. I called it almost pleadingly. Sonny, come here. But it ignored me, burying its head and eating happily. Ryan came over and patted my face, laughing disdainfully. Eat, Ethan. I'm the male lead, you're the supporting character. No matter how hard you try, you don't deserve any love. Your dad doesn't want you. Chloe doesn't want you. Look now, even the dog doesn't want you. As an NPC, your life is meaningless. Your existence is just to advance the plot. So don't delude yourself about things that don't belong to you. My eyes reddened as I fiercely grabbed his throat. My dad never abandoned me. He laughed maniacally. Go ahead and strangle me if you dare. I tightened my grip. His face instantly turned purple. But the next second, dense pain exploded inside my body like fireworks. I knelt on the ground in pain as Ryan stepped on my head. Deviating from the plot results in forced punishment by the system. In this world, only the protagonists have freedom. Remember that, you bastard NPC. After he left, I raised my head and wiped the tears from my eyes. Don't worry, noble male lead. I will definitely kill you in the system that deprived me of freedom. None of you will escape. Sonny quickly forgot about me, no longer running to me happily, wagging its tail when it saw me. But I didn't care. NPCs are just machines, receiving instructions from the system and acting, playing out scene after scene arranged by the system. We have no right to resist. We're born to be unfavored characters. Ryan let go of the leash, squatted down and patted Sunny's head, pointing at me with a cigarette provocatively. Go bite him. As soon as he finished speaking, Sunny charged at me. I couldn't resist closing my eyes in despair, but the imagined pain never came. I opened my eyes to see Sunny standing quietly in front of me. Its eyes were wet as if it had been through a heavy rain. Ryan was furious, his voice breaking. Stupid dog, what are you doing? I told you to bite him. I'm your master. Sunny didn't move, silently looking at me, then lowered its head and licked my hand, like it had licked my hand thousands of times over the past 5 years. This was how it expressed love. Then it turned and ran toward Ryan like it was crazy. Ryan's scream rang out because it had bitten his calf hard. Bright red blood rolled down like broken pearls. He frantically hit it. Crazy dog, are you insane? How dare you bite me? Tears surged out, almost drowning me. It wasn't crazy, it was defying the system to protect me. It was keeping its promise to Dad. Sunny soon whimpered and convulsed, being forcibly punished by the system. Ryan took the chance to grab its leg and smashed its head hard on the ground with a crack. I hurried over to hold it. Blood seeped from the corner of its mouth. It had already died. Ryan looked at us contemptuously. An NPC is still an NPC, even with awakened consciousness. See, this is what happens when you hurt the protagonist. He patted my face with a smile. Ethan, this is just the appetizer. The real fun is yet to come. I held Sunny's corpse from dawn to dusk. Its warmth leaked out bit by bit through my fingers, until it was cold as ice, cold into my heart. Chloe ran over like crazy and hugged me, her eyes tinged with blood, her voice cold. I'll find someone to kill him right now, chop off his hands and feed them to dogs. I bit her shoulder blade hard, the taste of blood spreading in my mouth. No, even if you dismember him, there will be endless new conquerors coming. His death alone isn't enough. I want him and the system behind him to die together. I slowly pulled out a smile. Besides, what's fun about killing him like this? He's right, the real fun is yet to come. I pried open Sunny's closed eyes bit by bit. Sunny, you must watch carefully how I send these people who killed you to hell. Chloe treated Ryan better and better, and he liked her more and more. She just cooked me a meal, and he went crazy with jealousy, viciously smashing plates and bowls. She never goes in the kitchen, yet she cooks for you. You bastard. If you dare make her look at you again, this is what will happen to you. I shook like a sieve in fear, but after he left, I laughed happily. He had finally fallen in love with her. Not just to completely take her away from me, but truly fallen in love with her. Every failed conquest causes massive energy loss to the system. This otherworldly energy. The more plot progresses, the greater the loss. So the system fears conquest failure more than the conquerors. I heard the system remind. Host, the system has detected some abnormalities in the female lead. He was anxious. Does she like Ethan again? The system replied. I haven't detected the specific issue yet, reminding you again. If this mission fails, you will be completely erased, unable to exist in any form in any space. You have one last chance now, to choose to terminate the mission and return to the real world. Do you choose to terminate the mission? Ryan was silent for a long time, saying he needed time to consider. The next day, Chloe had prepared a whole table of dishes, waiting for him to come home from work. These are all your favorite dishes. Back then, I couldn't do any housework and always threw tantrums at you. In the 5 years you were gone, I learned everything. Ryan, whatever you want to eat in the future, I'll make for you. I'll be good and listen, just don't leave me again, okay? Before she finished speaking, Ryan emotionally pulled her into his arms. Silly girl. Then jealously questioned. Then why does Ethan get some too? Chloe picked up a piece of sweet and sour pork and fed it to him, smiling helplessly. Didn't you say you loved the sweet and sour pork your mom made most? I could never get the taste right, so I had Ethan help me taste test. Try it quickly. Is the taste right this time? He laughed knowingly, looking at me smugly. Right. He's only good for taste testing for me. That night, I heard him excitedly tell the system. I want to stay here for Chloe, be her male lead. And his female lead was pressed against the wall by me that night. Kissed until her legs went weak, her arms around my neck burning hot, her voice hoarse as if scorched by fire. Ethan, say you love me. I pulled her into my arms, kissing her earlobe, my voice spilling from between my lips. I love you. Her pupils trembled as she couldn't help but moan softly. I looked at Ryan, smiling sweetly across from us, and slowly curved my lips. Dear Conqueror number 49, welcome to my hunting time. Ryan had a car accident, kidney damage requiring a transplant. He lay pale on the hospital bed, but still as arrogant as ever. Ethan, you'd better take good care of yourself lately. After all, your kidney will soon be mine. Don't misread it. This was his final mission, to take my life. As long as Chloe forced me to donate my kidney to him, I would die. I looked at him leisurely. That's my kidney. Why should I give it to you? He laughed as if hearing something funny, unable to stop. Why? Because Chloe loves me. I want your life, and she'll give it to me right away. He confidently pulled out his phone and called Chloe, but his face soon turned cold inch by inch because Chloe didn't answer his call. He panicked a bit, making call after call, but all sank without a trace, no response. I leaned down and looked at him with interest. Stop wasting your effort. Haven't you noticed that after your accident, your female lead hasn't visited you even once? He grabbed my hand frantically, almost crushing my wrist, his eyes wide with fear. Written inside were fear, regret, pain, and disbelief. Then he struggled to smash all the equipment in the hospital room. Panting heavily, his hysterical voice almost burst my eardrums. Ethan, you despicable villain. Stop trying to drive a wedge between us. I know you just hate that I took everything from you. Chloe loves me very much. Just wait. She'll dig out your kidney and give it to me right away. But Chloe never appeared. The one who came to the hospital every day to accompany him was me, because his painful appearance really excited me. A week later, he finally couldn't take it anymore. He crawled on the ground like a dog, grabbing my pant leg and begging me. Ethan, please, let me see her. His eyes were dull and lifeless, disheveled, like an abandoned dog. I really liked this desperate and pitiful look of his, so I seriously admired it for a long time before smiling and saying, Okay, I'll take you to see her. I brought him to Chloe's basement, blood stains crawling all over the walls. The smell of blood was overwhelming. He started dry heaving as soon as he entered. I politely apologized to him. Sorry, she has bad habits. Always likes to not clean up after killing people. I led him forward enthusiastically, introducing. This dried corpse is Conqueror number 28. He always liked to burn me with cigarette butts, so we made him into a smoked dried corpse. We thought he would like this way of dying. The jar on the front left contains Conqueror number 15. He wanted to sell me to Myanmar, so Chloe had someone make him into a human stick. She said this was Myanmar's specialty. Ryan's face lost color bit by bit until we reached the last room in the basement. I smiled and opened the door. Inside was an iron cage with a woman locked inside, covered in wounds. There wasn't a patch of good flesh on her body. As soon as she saw me, she excitedly rushed to the cage door, grabbing the bars and shaking frantically, howling at me with whimpering sounds. Ryan screamed when he saw her face clearly, falling to the ground in fright, his pointing hand trembling. Why does she look exactly like Chloe? I considerately helped him up. My respected male lead, because this is your real female lead. The one you fell in love with is the fake Chloe. The system exclaimed in a low voice. So this is where the female lead's problem was. She was switched. Ryan turned to run, but was knocked out by a stick after just 2 steps. Stella, the NPC who had been impersonating the female lead, walked toward me with a baseball bat, smiling. My name is Ethan. I'm the vicious supporting male in a novel. The female lead, Chloe, told me this that year. I was 22, the most devoted admirer of my childhood friend Chloe. Even though she was an antisocial psychopath, I still liked her crazily, though I didn't know why I liked her. The day I confessed to her, she smiled and accepted my flowers, agreeing to be my girlfriend. Then that night, she asked me to meet at a hotel. I nervously pushed open the door to find not just her inside, but a group of her friends. They tied me up, stripped my clothes, put a dog collar on me, and made me crawl on the ground, barking like a dog. I refused and was nearly beaten to death that day. Chloe stepped on my head, putting out her cigarette on my face. What are you refusing? I'm this world's female lead. You're originally just my lapdog, still wanting to be with me? Look at your status. I don't remember how many people there were that day. I only remember my clothes were covered in blood, my body covered in wounds. So later, I killed them all. I killed Chloe last, but after killing her, my organs hurt like they were being pierced, Then I died too. When I opened my eyes again, I was back to childhood, everything starting over. I gradually understood. I was an NPC playing the role of the vicious, supporting male in this world, mainly responsible for admiring the female lead and blocking the male and female leads from being together. Ultimately, I was a tool. My only use was to highlight the male lead and promote the lead's relationship. I was vicious and laughable. No matter how hard I tried, I got no reward and was destined for a tragic ending the system had already written for me. But in this world, I have parents and friends. The happiness and suffering we've experienced together are all incredibly real and moving. I have things I want to do, places I want to go, people I want to love. Why should I accept and execute commands without thought like a machine? Why should I forever stand in the shadows, living as a faceless background character? Why should I accompany the male and female leads, playing boring conquest games over and over? I began resisting this world, but I couldn't do anything that deviated from the plot. That would get me forcibly punished by the system, because this world operates around the male and female leads. They have absolute freedom and priority. All NPCs serve them. After countless attempts, I had a plan. The NPC system murder plan. I couldn't act freely. I needed someone who could act freely to be my knife. Since the female lead, Chloe, wouldn't listen to me, I would replace her. So I found Stella, Chloe's twin sister, her control group. Stella had always worked very hard since childhood, but as an NPC, no matter how hard she tried, she was always stepped on by the good-for-nothing Chloe. Though twins, the Thompsons always favored Chloe, hating Stella like an enemy. They locked her in a dark room, beating her like crazy, pointing at her nose and cursing. How did I give birth to such a useless daughter like you? I should have drowned you in the toilet back then. All because Chloe was the female lead with the protagonist halo, while Stella existed just to highlight Chloe, just like their names. As long as the moon is there, people can't see the stars. Later, Stella accidentally fell into water and died, but I knew she didn't die. She was just locked up by Chloe, locked in a cage like an animal. Chloe really hated Stella because her hard-working appearance disgusted her. Why would an NPC live so earnestly? So she locked Stella in the basement, torturing her in various ways. Stella's body was covered in scabs that formed and were torn off repeatedly. Sunlight poured in from that high small window, but could never reach her. She reached out trying to touch it. Before she could feel the warmth she longed for, all her fingers were crushed by Chloe. So she was like a plant that couldn't get sunlight, gradually withering then slowly rotting in the darkness. Chloe loved this dog-like appearance of hers, crawling on the ground, unable to get up. That's right, this is the posture an NPC should have. I reached my hand towards Stella in the cage. Come, let's walk out of this cage together. I meant both the cage trapping her here and the cage the system placed over every NPC's head. She tentatively reached out her hand, then dejectedly pulled back. Her eyes were dark, not letting in any light. I'm useless, no matter how hard I try. I can't catch up to Chloe. No one likes me, even my parents hate me. Chloe said someone like me only deserves to stay in a dark cage. I held her dirty hand. You're not useless. Some people are just stupid and evil, unable to shine themselves, so they want to extinguish everyone else's light. People like her should be locked in cages, so shall we lock her in this cage? She looked at me with light surging in her eyes. If you want, I'll do it. From that day on, Stella replaced Chloe as the female lead, while Chloe became the NPC locked in the cage, and the system noticed nothing. The system gains energy from successfully running this world according to the plot, so it continuously uses monetary rewards to attract men from the real world to enter and conquer the female lead, because this world needs a male lead. Those conquering men are all ordinary people from the real world, ordinary men who would disappear in a crowd, unsuccessful in career and life. But once they come here, they transform, becoming male leads who have supreme power without doing anything. They live at the top of this world, above all authority. All NPCs are at their mercy. Having been weak, the first thing they do as the strong is swing their blade at the weak, so they all love bullying me. The real Chloe bullied me along with them because they made her very happy, trying to conquer her. Even though she knew they were conquering her, she was served well and happy, so she had to give them some sweet rewards. Also because in her eyes, what am I? Just her dog. Dead is dead, what's the big deal? But Stella is different. She says she's my dog. Even though she's already become the female lead, the master of this world, she's still willingly my dog forever, this NPC's dog. Every conquest failure depletes the system's energy. The more plot progresses, the more last-minute failures deplete it. So we had to follow the plot, deplete its energy. So I was humiliated and tortured by 48 conquerors in turn. Then Stella killed them one by one, making them suffer 1,000 times what I'd suffered. But after 48 times, we still couldn't successfully kill the system. So the 49th time I had Stella cooperate with Ryan's conquest, then lure him back to take on a second mission, because if Ryan succeeds in his second mission, entering the world, he successfully unlocks a hidden plot. He can stay here forever as the male lead, and the system will receive a huge energy source as reward, endless from then on. But if he fails, he'll be erased, and the system's energy will be depleted. It will completely lose control of this world. This is a huge gamble. Everyone at the table is betting. Ryan woke up to find himself tightly bound, struggling like crazy. Someone was sharpening a knife in the next room. The swish-swish sound seeming to come not from the room, but from hell itself. Stella swung on a swing as I pushed her from behind, her white dress hem swaying. There were some bloodstains on it, like roses blooming in the dark night. I smiled happily at Ryan. "You're awake." My smile was so handsome, but he cried in fear. Why? I clearly already succeeded in the conquest. Even if she's not the female lead, her love value for me was clearly already full. She should love me very much. The knife sharpening in the next room didn't stop, even got louder. Stella jumped off the swing, tenderly touching his trembling face. "Because your system is too stupid, it judges my love value based on my actions, but my real love value for you has always been negative. Do you know what sustained me in acting with you?" His hair was messy as a bird's nest, big tears rolling from his swollen eyes. I took Stella's hand, smiling pleasantly. "That's butchering you. You're right. First loves are always pure, but unfortunately, I'm her first love." Ryan called for the system like crazy. System. Forced punishment. Quick, forced punishment. The NPC wants to hurt the protagonist. An electronic voice sounded. "Useless host, your mission has already failed. You'll be erased soon. My energy is also nearly depleted. I've already lost control of this world." He sighed in disbelief. "How is it possible? How could you two NPCs with nothing win against me?" My voice, mixed with the swish-swish of knife sharpening, carried far away by the wind. "Because you only see the surface. That's why you can't hear the roar from every NPC's heart that could shatter the heavens. That's our roar for freedom." Stella curved her lips triumphantly, sitting back on the swing, swinging higher and farther each time, free as the wind. The knife in the next room was sharpened very bright enough to reflect a person's shadow. Stella picked up the sharpened knife and walked to Ryan's side. She smiled sweetly, but her voice was very cold enough to freeze blood. "You made Ethan kowtow 25 times, so I'll cut you into 25 pieces." Ryan finally completely broke down, tears streaming, struggling desperately and screaming, his handsome face written with fear and despair. Stella expressionlessly stuffed a toad into his wide, open mouth, just like he did to me back then, so he could only make broken, whimpering sounds from his throat. Stella suddenly turned back and smiled at me gently. "Ethan, I'm going to have someone dismember him. The scene will be very bloody. Do you want to go back and wait for me?" I was silent for a long time, then shook my head, smiling happily. Such a wonderful scene. Of course I want to stay and watch. Epilogue. The system disappeared. This world restarted. Without the female lead Halo, Chloe was just a complete waste and psychopath. Her parents no longer favored her. Not studying all day, she was fairly garbage. At 16, she was imprisoned for campus bullying and manslaughter. That's right, people like her should be locked in cages forever. And Stella's hard work and intelligence were finally seen by everyone. In the night sky without the moon, she was brilliant and dazzling. Stars are celestial bodies that can emit their own light and heat. Even if the light is small, it comes from itself. No one can take it away. While the moon, as a satellite, its light comes from the sun. Chloe, without the system, was like the moon without the sun, sinking into boundless darkness. My name is Ethan. I'm not the vicious supporting male. I'm just Ethan. I don't destroy anyone's relationships. My love has always been upright and free. No more strange men come to bully me viciously. I still have the world's best dad. He's a driver, quick and diligent at work, warm-hearted and kind. He won't get cancer because the system wants to forcibly bind his son with Chloe, making him die trying to buy the Thompsons' favor at death's door so the Thompson family would owe Ethan and support him being with Chloe. He'll live healthy and happy for a long, long time. He adopted a stray dog mutt. He named it Sunny and gave it to his most beloved son, Ethan, as a 20th birthday gift. He hopes Ethan's life will be sunny and full as he wished. I'm happy every day. Right now, I'm lying comfortably on the sofa, basking in the sun. Sunny runs over, wagging its tail, and jumps into my arms, licking my hand nonstop. I know this is how it expresses love, so I sit up and rub its fluffy head, enthusiastically responding. Sunny, I like you too. The woman beside me gets unhappy. After 5 whole years, she finally agreed to marry me. Her hand on my waist, round eyes staring at me. Who did you just say you like? I find it funny, rubbing her head. Stella, are you sick? The next second, she leans forward and sits in my lap. She pulls my tie and kisses me, tongues intertwined, my mouth filled with her cool taste and scorching temperature. After a long while, she finally lets me go, tilting her head to gently bite my earlobe, mumbling aggrievedly. You can only like me. I hold her in my arms, panting slightly. Stella, Sunny is a dog. She raises her head to kiss me, her voice hoarse and hot. You also said I'm like your little cat. So tell me, who do you like most? I'm kissed breathless by her, repeatedly begging for mercy. Okay, I like you most. She holds my face, looking at me, the deep affection surging in her eyes, almost drowning me. Then it's settled, this life, next life, the life after that, you can only like me most. The one I've always liked is you.